Right, morning. We are on Sweet Spot this morning here on Pienza. Ah. Whoa. Oh. Nice.
In the beginning, but it's because his love of cycling kept him on the right path, is that he is now where he's at now.
It's a ride, it's a gang thing. I've been getting groovy, you can't say the same. If you don't work hard, then you finna lose. If you don't chase your dreams, then you need to move. My hustle way harder than my struggle was, though. Might put some rings on the team and spend my life.
Come on. Grab it now.
It's not about him. It's not about me. It's not about anything that we're gonna do. It's about changing the pathway for a kid that comes from the place that we come from and giving them the platform to be the best version of themselves within that.
Building teams, building camps, teaching the fundamentals of cycling, and like also being able to provide equipment to people that need it and recycle it back into the community and being within the community. So like we do these like really cool junior day camps wherever we're racing and just kind of like hang out with the kids, teach them some things, like instill knowledge, like, and just be with them.
I believe he can inspire the youth. They'll basically get the same feeling how he felt when he first saw Corey and Justin on the start lines of these pro races. Like that motivates kids even till now. Like we see kids like, oh my God, they would get so excited to meet him.
He may not see it now. It may take him, you know, to retire from the sport or whatever, but in the long run, they're going to be able to say like Dante.
Hey, what's up, Jerry? Good morning. How are you? This little sweet spot work here. Catching up on some of my favorite YouTube channels and subscriptions. And now we're on board with Dialed Health, Derek Teal. We'll talk a little bit about the Y Ride, a new series he's got going on. Yep, exactly. Oh, yeah, that's close. The next two intervals will be close to the sweet spot. I've been working on that low cadence, increase the amount of time to exhaustion here. So we're going for 85% or more, increasing from 30 minutes to 90 minutes over the course of the next couple weeks.
What I feel like doing on my bike today. This is it. I have a full day to do whatever I want on a bike, and I get to do it. So I'm over the moon. I'm happy we committed to this.
I've noticed a lot of people are assuming that Y rides are a ride that kind of demonstrates why I ride a bike and what's my reason for riding a bike. It's kind of like taking on that, and it's really not what it's meant to be. It's meant to be why I train. It's a
why do I
ride
train?
that represents why I'm so relentless and consistent with my training throughout the week, especially maintaining my family, my career. And you can't just go out and ride your bike all day like you'd want to, or at least I'd want to. but I can train consistently enough to support a day like that. So when I get the opportunity to go do it, my body's ready, I'm ready, and I can make the most of the time I have.
That's good. Right hands, left knee.
So the
Lower
route
hands.
started in Healdsburg, which was just a central location and a place we knew we wanted to end because of the barbecue spot right there. We climbed up the Geysers Climb all the way around to Cloverdale, and that connected us to Skaggs Road. And Skaggs Road took us past Lake Sonoma, but it basically was a full pull all the way to the coast, Highway 1. We dropped down Highway 1 for another 40 miles or so, and then made a turn to go back east on Coleman Road. And from that point, we basically went east until we hit this town called Occidental. And from there, we took Occidental up this horrendous climb called Sweetwater and ended up connecting that back all the way to Healdsburg.
Yep.
It's heating up fast. Staying committed to my self-supported mission, even though my pockets are getting stuffed. Staying on top of food so far. I'm actually gonna make a little maneuver here.
Oh, nice. Oh, cool shot. I like that.
There's the lake.
Oh, we changed bikes?
Yeah, dude, I was so stoked on that back road. And I can't believe we're getting as much sun as we are, you know? It's, dude. Couldn't think of a better time than now to pull out the maples, baby. This is the best part of riding. You combine a ride day with good food, you're in heaven. Literally on the Skaggs screen. Oh, you're good. Cool. All right, guys. Let's try and pull this to the ocean. Next stop, be on the cliff, going full Leo, king of the world.
Pressure recovery coming. 2 minutes, 120.
I finally got to one climb that just kept going. And because I didn't have the route up, I couldn't see really how long the climb was. And so I was just standing for so long. And at one point I realized, holy smokes, this is like a 20% grade I'm on. And it just keeps going on and on. But I was rewarded with one of the raddest downhills from that first big climb on Skaggs. That section of road was amazing. It just kept going, and I didn't know how it kept going. Like, it just kept going. It felt so good to ride.
Come on.
That was easily one of the best descents I've ever done. And it's just been like a steady 1% grade for dude, I don't know, 8 miles or something.
But I knew there was gonna be another big climb before I actually reached the coast. And at one point I thought I was only like a mile from the coast, but I was actually 9 miles.
Whoa.
Between me and the coast was about a 1,500 foot pass. And that road ended up being probably one of the steepest of the day. And it was just a chunky technical descent that ended up getting me back to the general store on the coast, which was, seeing that thing was like rolling into like the gates of heaven.
Nice. Nice.
I'm doing really good on food still. So I feel like I don't need any of that, but definitely need some liquid sugar. Oh baby. And a ginger ale? We'll take one of these, please.
Nice.
You know, I really like some of that road. That last ridge though, Monkey, I was basically hovering my seat the whole time. It's noon. I've ridden 81 miles and 10K. You know, I mean, like, put that in perspective, you're like, wow, if I did that on any other day before lunch, I'd be so proud of myself. So I'm trying to like keep that in mind.
Next one coming up. Here's the big one. Get the cadence down.
I think it's time to go.
All right.
Dude, I can't believe how sick this is.
One more minute. We're up and at it. Wow. Look at that. Wow.
After all the chunky roads that we'd been on up to that point, and all the steep climbs, steep descents, all the technical stuff, it was just rolling, glassy road that was just honestly easy and fun to ride. And it was moving fast. It felt great. It felt like easy miles, almost perfect view.
Single arm drills.
The temperatures were cool. You could smell the ocean. It was just, that was the section of the ride that without a doubt was the easiest, but I think it came after such an unexpectedly hard start that it just was really extra enjoyable, you know? Like, I felt like I earned that section of road.
Gagged. Like I had some ache going for a bit, and then now I feel like way better. I think after this meal, we'll be feeling good.
Nice and slow.
Strap on my foot.
Nice and slow.
After looking forward to the one solid meal I have till we're done with this thing, we found out there's no meat at the restaurant. So we got this across the street from probably the angriest business owner I've ever talked to. This is the worst sandwich I've ever had. Look at this thing. That's big days on the bike for you. Okay, apparently they didn't have meat, but they have seafood. Crab sando. Come on. So this is round 2. They really redeemed themselves on that. Well, hopefully, I'm gonna try it. It looks pretty.
That was the point of the ride where we're 100 miles in. I think we had ticked off 11K at that point, and that's when we stopped to eat. And we're sitting at this cool shop kind of on the river. And it was at that moment where I knew if we had stopped the ride right there, that was the end, I would be totally satisfied with the day. Knowing you have to keep going is that point where now you're going beyond just having a really, really good ride. You're actually trying to push yourself physically and mentally too. But that was the point. I really felt like I could have stopped there and been totally satisfied. But we had set out to do this bigger route, and it's like I'm competitive enough with myself to want to see what I can do. And we just had to get back to the start point, you know?
30 miles and 3K to go.
We get to Guerneville, and I had like 15 miles left, but I still had, 2,000 plus feet of climbing. And then it was also supposedly the chunkiest road of the day. So knowing that was ahead of me, I was just at that point where I was kind of just shaking my head. I just have to get through this climb. And then once that's over, I'm gonna just try and enjoy the last few miles rolling back into town.
All right, boys. Dude, I'm so cracked. When I went to pay for that, I entered my PIN in. Instead of hitting enter, I just yanked my card out. And the guy looked at me like... We're gonna turn on Armstrong Road. Shout out, Lance. We stay on Armstrong, and then we make a right on Sweetwater Springs. When we're on Sweetwater, there's gonna be like streets that come in, but we just stay on Sweetwater the whole time. Yeah. But it's pretty deep into it. Just a heads up.
Come on.
So I literally just was in my lowest gear, standing, paperboying up this climb, and I was locked into this like power output. I wasn't even following anything specifically. I just knew, I was like, this is as much as I have to do to turn over the pedals, and I can't do anymore. And it's so rare that I ever feel that way. You know, it takes a ride like this for me to get to the point where I have to tell myself, just don't stop. When you do balance strength training, your body's just in better alignment. And the nature of a bike puts you in basically a bad position. So the longer your body can hold proper alignment and stay there without just conforming to the horrible bike posture that you get on a big day like that, the longer you're probably gonna stay comfortable. And I will say that the durability of consistent strength training is what gets me through those rides without feeling like I'm injuring myself.
Nice.
That's it. I'm cracked. That was, without a doubt, one of the coolest bike rides I've ever done. Oh, man. 154 miles, plus a couple extra bonus, to be honest. 16,331 feet. That was a hard 150 miles. I can honestly say I did not expect it to be that difficult, chunk-wise. I mean, yeah, but dang, I gotta sit down. Someone give me a Theragun.
My goal is to give people the tools to have their body ready to go do whatever they want on the bike for the day. And I want people to feel confident in making that decision. They shouldn't feel pressured to go do something because they quote unquote should, or they feel obligated to in any way. I mean, this is bike riding, and we're lucky to have a ton of
races doesn't really happen on that day when the race is happening. You have to find your confidence over months or maybe over more than a season.
To be like a consistent top 10 rider in the World Cup, that's really, really difficult. There is only a few guys that can do that over a season, and they have to be in their best shape.
The last 2 years have been pretty challenging for me. I went from being ranked first in the world to 77th in the world.
Wow.
Mentally, I did a big step forward this year.
This year I knew it's more and more I need to have a perfect day. Everything needs to come together. So my goal was to step up with Julian Absalon's record, but I didn't have the overall in mind at all.
$5:30 to go.
Being at the end of the 2022 season, I'm obviously cloud 7 and thinking another outstanding great season of Nino in particular, but I almost forget that the season actually started really shitty. Luckily, Nino did the turnaround quite quick by winning the first World Cup in Brazil. Just what we needed to actually fix the problem we had at Cape Epic.
That was really something special and emotional for me. I didn't know myself if I'm still able to win World Cup races, but yeah, I proved to myself and all others that I'm still able to win races if everything comes together on the day.
This win in Brazil, after not winning for 3 years, was such a big release for Nino. And from then on, he was a totally different athlete. From then on, the season actually continued as usual with the ups and downs you have in a team of 4, you know. While Nino had some very consistent great results, especially in the World Cup, we also had Lars that was injured, that wasn't able to race for quite some time. The team showed so much strength to keep working and keep focusing on the racing and believing in himself. He came out at the end of the season very, very strong. 7th place in snowshoe, for example, showed the potential this guy has.
1 week before snowshoe at home during the training week, I really felt the power back in the pedals. I just had fun pushing hard and I was just looking forward to the race. This was a super happy feeling for me.
Having this experience that you just have to believe in yourself and be patient and continue working is something that Lars has and will prove that it will turn to the good next year.
Come on, 2:30.
For Kate, the 2022 season was really a fresh start.
The last 2 years have been pretty challenging for me. I went from being ranked first in the world to 77th in the world. So that was a big challenging year. And then 2021 after that, I think by the time the big events really came, I was just exhausted. And we pushed really, really hard and dug deep to try to kind of turn it around. But it ended up being a challenging season for me.
She really had to kind of restructure her training and a lot of things in her build up for the season, and that's what she did.
I think for me this year has been a lot about consistency and aiming to not have as many highs and lows and really just get a stable foundation back in place. So my goal at the beginning of the year was to be back in the top 10. Once you're in that top 10 range, you can start to see where you actually need to make changes and where you can improve and what types of things you need to do to actually make that jump, to the podium hopefully next season. I think as an athlete, when you do have those breakthrough results, you think of years like this year where you just were on the grind. At this point in the season, I'm actually really happy with it. I think it hasn't been the most exciting season. It hasn't been the season with my best results, but I did achieve that goal of consistency, and it's taken a lot of really hard work to get to that place mentally and physically and be able to just show up and race well.
Come on. 30 seconds.
During the whole season, we could see that her performance gets more solid and stronger towards the end. She laid out the fundament it takes to build up for the next 2 seasons to be back where she was in 2019.
What starts now?
Celebration. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
It's not easy to become a top 10 racer in the World Cup.
When I go to the World Cups, I know that I'm a top 15 rider when everything works out. I should belong there, but everything has to be perfect. I cannot do a performance like this on a bad day.
Andre had a very strong season. He was really making a step up from the past years, racing consistent at the higher level, even get some top 10 results in the World Cup. On those races where he had a good start, he could really show great performances, and not only for a certain period of the year, but actually for the whole season.
The main goal is to be once at the World Cup podium, that's for sure. And I think if I continue like that, I can reach it. If you're once there, you never know how far it can bring you, but I haven't reached my best potential yet.
Nice. Nice. Next one. Oh.
This is far and away the most dangerous thing we've ever attempted. We've been working on this for years. We're going to shoot it in Norway, and it'll be a motorcycle jump off a cliff into a base jump. I wanted to do it since I was a little kid. It all comes down to one thing: the audience. There's a lot going into this stunt. So Tom put together this master plan to coordinate all of these experts in each of the particular disciplines involved to make this whole thing happen. John and I are jumping out of the helicopter, and he's going to chase me. That's what we say to each other. Don't be careful, be confident. Be confident.
A year of base training, advanced skydive training, a lot of canopy skills, a lot of tracking.
Tom Cruise, he's an amazing individual. You tell him something and he just locks it in. His sense of spatial awareness, he's the most aware person I've ever met.
lots of practice on stability and free fall.
Tracking with John and Miles in the air, doing lots of different positioning like they were a two-man team in the air, coming on top of each other, below each other, backtracking, front tracking. You know, we've drilled and drilled and drilled.
When you do a lot of jumps back to back, the canopy control skills improve a lot.
We have 3 open canopies, which is a good thing.
The training's gone really well. It's progressive massively.
Hey, McHugh. How are you?
Great day, man. This is the next part of training right here, motocross.
Let's do it. So we built a motocross track.
Getting competent in the motocross, so he's comfortably jumping 70, 80-foot tabletops. Great time in the air, great positioning on the bike, landing well.
I have to get so good at this that there's just no way that I miss my marks.
That's good. Come a little closer to me. Coming up with the stunt is only one of the technical challenges. The other is putting a camera in a place that you can see where Tom is doing it. Finding the right lens, the right platform, the right medium. Even 2 years ago, the cameras didn't exist that would allow us to do what we're trying to do today.
How do we involve the audience? I just want to give them that thrill.
That means the camera has to be in front of Tom and as close to him as possible. Feels like you're going over the camera.
Yes.
It's very cool.
Train and drill every little aspect over and over and over and over again.
They were doing 30 jumps a day.
Getting to a point where he was just a machine. I mean, over 500 skydives.
That's what we do. Over 13,000 motocross jumps.
Wow.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Oh, it's great.
We replicated this ramp in England at a quarry.
We filled the quarry with cardboard boxes, which were there to catch the motorcycle. And the reason why we did that is so that Tom could simulate the jump.
How fast should I go off? What distance do I travel?
We built models of different ramps at different angles to calculate what Tom's trajectory would be. We have to be able to consistently predict where Tom is going to be in 3-dimensional space.
We're going to have a GPS chip on me.
And that recorded every single one of Tom's jumps, along with his ground speed, whether there was a headwind, whether there was a crosswind. And by doing this multiple times, we were able to get a consistent set of data.
So that each take we can see what height I am, so this way we can set drones and cameras in places where I can go right into close-up. Rule 1. Don't hit me with the drone. Because if we do it all, we don't capture it right. What's the point? Let's do it, guys. Ready? Yep. Always wear my earplugs so I don't hear myself scream.
We are ready.
That's awesome.
The key is me hitting certain speeds and being consistent with that. There's no speedometer, so I do it by sound and feel of the bike. And then as I depart the bike, I'm using the wind that's hitting me here, and I'm cupping my chest. That will give me lift. Thank you all very much for your help, guys.
We're here in Norway.
Oh.
We've been constructing this ramp over a number of months. Everything here has to be brought in by helicopter.
Engineers and technicians, it's incredible what they've done. This is masterful.
Today is day 1 of principal photography, and we are starting in classic mission form with the biggest stunt in the film.
What we're doing here is I'm just doing jumps just to warm up the body. Just do it just to get my tracking going and make sure everything's working all right. Try not to smile.
Basically, when he gets down and puts a parachute on and goes and does the bike jump, he'll actually know the weather conditions in this area, in the valley, and on the ground.
And then he has to safely deploy a parachute. Now he's in a rock bowl with walls all around him, and he's got to fly out of it.
Of course,
Left
you
leg.
know, when something's been done for the
Left
first
leg.
time, you can't help but worry
Left
a little
leg.
bit about how it's really going to turn out.
With a jump like this, the challenge is finding the cameras, it's the amount of preparation, and then it's weather.
You want the light to be right, you want the clouds to be right. Misty but not foggy. This weather right here is exactly what we're looking for.
Key is about about 10 minutes away from coming up here, landing and doing the actual stunt.
Sounds good. We're in motion. See you soon.
Now we're going to set the frames with this camera ship with the drone just to verify everything. Then we're going to get ready.
You know, the only things you really have to avoid while doing a stunt like this is serious injury or death. Here we go. You're riding a motorcycle, which is pretty dangerous, on top of a ramp that's elevated off the ground, so if you come off the ramp, that's going to be very bad. You're falling. If you don't get a clean exit from the bike and you get tangled up with it, if you don't open your parachute, then you're not going to make it.
I saw a canopy.
You guys, thank you. Now, John, that was absolutely beautiful. Like, nothing wrong. Bike went away. I mean, the track was perfect. It was actually, it was great.
Thanks, mate. I think I can hold to the bike a little longer.
Pretty much the biggest stunt in cinema history. Tom Cruise just rode a motorcycle off a cliff 6 times today.
6 times. Holy cow. Oh my. Hey, let's go. Oh, forgot to turn on the video. That was nuts. Oh, what is that? What is that? Oh.
What'd you think, Eric?
Good, it's actually better.
Brand new for you.
It's feeling good. More doable now.
I don't think I'll try.
With 16
I was gonna
times.
take it over bend, but
16 times 3.
Well, yeah, of course.
Extremely novel.
Of course not.
A++ views.
Of course not. I mean, it's like pretty down. It's pretty down there. Oh! I think it came off from like maximum height. Just, so 5 hours up to. Where are you guys gonna stay tonight?
Ideally Santa Cruz if we can get there.
Yeah.
Why? We should be able to get there.
Yeah. And you're gonna stay on the coast. You're gonna sleep in one of the those like little spots.
I'll just.
Yeah, we're gonna probably just try to stay somewhere on the coast.
It's right there.
Sneakily.
Right. It's so nice there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Alright, is this a wrap up for your tutorial video?
This is either the wrap up or the beginning of the next journey. I'm not sure.
Either the beginning or the end.
How poetic. Wow. Existential.
I mean,
every beginning is an end, and every end is a beginning. It's true.
It's true.
Off season is officially on. We made it to Santa Cruz last night. Woke up to this incredible sunrise. And today we're headed in to meet some people at Specialized. Maybe go for a mountain bike ride, but mostly just hang out. Hey, baby.
Are you talking to the camera?
Talking to the camera. And your jacket matches the sunrise over there.
Yeah. Pretty nice. Pretty killer campsite that I found.
You're the campsite wizard. Our suspicion is that this campsite is unbookable all summer long, but right now,
No, there's a spot.
just rolled right up and you can hear the waves.
Which I prefer.
I always prefer empty spots.
We will travel many miles. Will we ever see home again? Waves stay taller, screams get louder. All I need is your hand in mine.
like a big area.
It's a lot bigger than I thought. I kind of imagined it would be touching you at all times.
Yeah. These have like a magnetic way closed.
Alright, we're getting ready to test out the shower for the first time. We said we would. If we get one of these vans, we have to take a shower. Somebody has to take a shower in it before we commit.
Well, that was very fun and useful and novel and comfortable. And
Also, a lot of great.
there's a lot of room in here. The only thing that's too bad is that you just want to stand under the hot stream, but there's not infinite amounts of water, so you gotta be conservative with your water usage. But it's probably a good thing to do anyway while you shower. Basically, like you get wet, turn it off, soap up, rinse off, turn it off. You know?
Yeah. Interior temperature of the van being high.
That would be helpful, yeah. But no, it's way more room than I thought, and like this doesn't cling to you like I thought.
That's what I was expecting. I just expected like that would be trying to attach itself to your body the whole time.
No.
Awesome.
Yeah. You should try it.
All right.
You're up next.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay, day 3 of the long drive home. Spent the morning hanging out with Mark Cody from Zwift, formerly at Specialized, and now we're headed to Specialized HQ to get a tour.
Oh my god, figures.
Is this the official way?
No hesitation.
Nice. Nice.
Wow, that wasn't hard at all.
Alright, let's see.
Yeah, I'll go next. Can you take my phone down?
Yeah, pockets. He's an awesome guy. We have to remember why we ride bikes, because bikes are for fun. Yeah. All you got to do is ride a bike.